If you are wondering how to make art, then you have come to the right place. Hello 9 subscribers and welcome to my new video about things not to do when you're trying to make art. So, first thing is not actually taking time out of your daily life to practice your creation, your work, whatever that word is, and not taking time to practice things that you need to work on. So, for example, if you needed to work on hands, you should practice more on them. So, this is sounding a bit weird, but if you can't do something, the only way you're going to get better is if you practice. Don't draw what you're used to. You need to get out of your comfort zone or you'll never improve. Because if your comfort zone is drawing faces and eyes and hair, draw something completely different, draw legs and feet with shoes. And then you should also practice them all together, so it's kind of balanced, so it doesn't look too weird, so you don't have like a really detailed feet and just like simple cartoon face. That'd be interesting. Anyways, second, not actually taking the time to actually do proper research and study into actual art and its rules. Now, art is a really, I guess you could say, broad subject, and there aren't that many rules you should follow, but at the same time there are heaps. Because if you want your art to look like how it should be in real life, and if you want it to look pleasing to the eye, there are many things that you should make sure you try to follow. The most obvious ones include anatomy, color theory, and general, I guess, things to do with shadowing, lighting, highlights, all those things that are common, like to do with realism and actual real life. Because if you, for example, if you don't practice anatomy properly by looking at references or taking art classes, you'll never really be able, it will take you a long time to figure out the proper proportions and how a human actually looks. And if you don't do color theory, you won't know how to make, I guess, colors work together and good color schemes and what should go with what and what shouldn't go with what. This way you can make it look actually nice to people's eyes, and you will be able to express different moods and climates through this way. For example, if you wanted to express some warmy, lovey feeling, you'd use warm colors, of course, like reds, orange, pinks. And if you wanted to express sadness, you'd use blues, greys, blacks, any cool toned colors. And with shading and like highlights, shadows, etc., are a good part of realism to show where the light source is coming from, because there is always a light source. Proper shading and toning will give you more of a sense of a 3D shape, and it will give it texture and not make it look as flat. Most people would either take classes they can possibly take in high school or college, I guess, but there are also out of school art classes that anyone can take, but those are usually expensive depending on the topic and just what kind of teacher is teaching you, I guess. But not everyone can afford that. But there are plenty of books you can find out there, YouTube videos, websites you can look, and you can get a basic idea of how to do all these things. So, number 3, I think, is drawing the same position of the face or body of the character they are drawing. So I've seen a lot of people on Instagram that just generally draw the same position. Like they might have the head tilting just away from having it straight on, just a little bit tilted, and they'd cut off at the shoulders, and it'd be the same for most of their drawings. Now, I'm not saying I don't do this. I am totally guilty of this as well, because everyone has this one angle that they are comfortable with and they can draw well, and they just want to draw it. But if you do this, it's going to look more, I guess, more repetitive, and your art won't look as interesting if all your pieces are the same. If you use more dynamic poses and expressions, you can convey a whole lot of different things. Just by using dynamic poses, you can express different emotions, and body language shows a lot about how a character is feeling and what they are doing. And again, if you do practice positioning and angles more, you will get better at them. Okay, point number 4. Being too afraid to try different art topics because they are not good at them. Another mistake being an artist kind of make being too afraid to try different kinds of art they're not used to. For example, if someone's been drawing just cartoonish, anime-ish style their whole lives, and they do traditional or digital art, but they don't want to try things like painting, sculpting, because they are not experienced in this topic, and they are afraid that, I guess, they wouldn't make very good pieces this way. But I kind of encourage that you try all the different art subjects if you can, because I think it's very helpful, because you learn different skills and different techniques of things, different techniques to do things, and that way you can, I guess, present your art in even more different ways, and more different ways, so you have more unique selection of art you have created, and it's not all just digital artworks, and you can maybe have like a sculpture or a painting, and really just have a wide variety of things people can possibly buy from you, because people have different tastes in art. Some people like pottery, some people like oil paintings, some people even like sculptures of whatever that comes into your mind. So, now the final thing that all artists should avoid is using the wrong tools for the wrong job. Now, this is more specifically the airbrush tool, and because I've seen a lot of more beginner artists use the airbrush tool for shadowing and shading, and generally this is to do with color theory, but I've seen them use black for shadowing, and that's not how it works. That's not how natural shading and shadowing works, and that is why you should look into color theory and to find out why that is. Okay, so if you look at a shadow, it is not completely hard and not solid, and in some areas it is. But with the airbrush tool, you can't really achieve. You can, I guess, if you work very hard, but most of the time you can't, because the shadowing is kind of half solid, half airbrushy like. But you can only really achieve decent looking shadows by using a more solid brush, and it gives it a more realistic look, but you can always go over the edges of that if you want them softer with an airbrush eraser. Okay, so that's all I've got for today. I hope you didn't mind waiting too long. 9 subscribers, thank you guys. My links to my social media in the bio. I guess subscribe if you want, if you're new here, and